everybody, welcome to Wowing Wednesday with Miss Beth and Madison 4-H. If you notice, we're not in the barn today. We're actually in the woods. We're going to show you today how to do something really kind of cool, is find some wild animal footprints, and then make some molds or castings of them using plaster of Paris. It's really cool. So here we are walking down the dirt road in the woods, and there are some really cool things to find. We look down and we see some animal tracks. Kind of hard to see when it hasn't rained very much. So we're gonna go and find some places where you can find some animal tracks. Even if you live in town, believe it or not, you might find some animal tracks. So we come into this open field, and you never know, there's a lot of animal tracks out here, but it hasn't rained very much here lately, so the sand, they're kind of hard to see. But I will show you real quickly. Yeah, in the shadow, that is a turkey track right there. That's a turkey track. Okay, kind of hard to see, but like I said, we do have some turkeys. Here's some more critter tracks. Here's a deer track, another turkey track, and all kinds of tracks out there. Oh, here's a good one. Good deer track there. And just walking. There you go. So we're going to show you how to make a mold of those so you can have them forever. All right. So let's see what else we can find. So one place to look for animal tracks out in the forest or in the woods or whatever is around a water source, because all animals have to have something to drink. And so I'm here at this little, almost like a mud puddle pond, but have a lot of animal tracks, and I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. Okay, so if you look real carefully, right here are deer tracks, and there's some more deer tracks down by the water. There's some down by the water. Here's some more tracks right here. If I can get down on it, right there. Some tracks. We keep on walking. See all kinds of tracks along the edge of the water. Lots of deer. Deer love this pond. They come see them down here a lot. But all along here, all along there, those are deer tracks. Okay, they're not cows, they're deer. See this? There's a deer here. If we kept on going, we'd probably see some raccoon tracks, but I see more deer tracks all the way around the pond. Nothing but deer tracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some casting of these deer tracks. So I'll show you exactly how to do that. So what we have here is we have in this container is 3 cups of plaster of Paris, and we have 1 cup of plain water. So I'm going to mix this in. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to pour it in. I'm going to mix it at the same time. Okay. Just mix it all up. Gotta get all the lumps out. And it takes about 45 minutes to dry. And in the sun, maybe it'll take less, but we'll pour it and then we'll see. We'll come back and see. I don't know if I'll have enough to do all 3, but we'll see. So we have it a good mixture. I still see some lumps. I'll keep stirring, but there's our mixture. Okay, maybe a little too wet, too much water, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna see how it works. Okay. Okay, we found some really good tracks right here. There's 1, 2, 3. And when you do castings, you want it to be kind of dry. So this one looks really wet. That one's kind of dry and that one's kind of dry. So we'll try those 2 and we'll see how it turns out. First thing you have to have, I'm gonna get over here, try to get out of the shade. So we got to have something to work as kind of a frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece of PVC pipe and just put it around that one. And then I took, this is just a container I got mushrooms in, and I'll put it, and I cut off the bottom, and I'll just press that down like that. So then we have to take our, you can also use a piece of cardboard if you wanted to. You could use that. You know what, while we're here, let's just do that one too. Okay, so that just kind of keeps the stuff, all the plaster from going anywhere. Okay, so here we are, and we're ready to pour in our casting, and I think it's probably going to be a little too wet, but we're going to see how it works anyway. Here we go. Pour it in there. Uh-oh, I'm about to run out. A little bit more in that one. And then we'll pour some rest of it in this one. Okay. And we'll let it dry and come back in a few hours and see if we can make our mold. So here we are in the cornfield, and you can actually see where the deer has walked right down this row. The deer tracks, and it goes all the way down that corn row. Well, it's about up there. But these were probably done last night or this morning. And like I said, it's kind of dry. So after the irrigation went, that's when the deer walked. Okay, so here's our deer track in the cornfield. We're going to use this as our little mold case. So we'll put it right there. And now we'll mix up our plaster. So we have our plaster mix. We have 1.5 cups of plaster and 1/2 cup of plain water. We'll pour it in and mix it. Get all the lumps out. As many lumps as we can get out. Make sure we have mixed up well. Clean up the footprint. All right, so we will pour it into our mold, our cast. There it goes. It'll fill all the way up. There you go. And it's running out. Okay, so we will leave it right there. I put a little too much in there, but just for giggles. Let's do this one. One way that you can make a cast, make a frame around it, is actually you can make like a little dam with dirt. See how this works. We'll pour the rest of it in here. Fill up the rest of it. And there we go. So we have 3 casts here. We'll see. We'll come back in a couple hours and see what we got. Okay, well, our looks like our animal track casts have set up. So let's pull them up and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll have to take them back and kind of wash it off, but there's the imprint of that track. See this one? Ooh, there's the imprint of this one. Have to let them dry underneath there. Our last one, well, that's a good one too. We'll get the dirt away, the mud. There's our animal track. Okay, so we'll take this and take it back and clean it up, and looks like we got a good print. Okay, we're back in the cornfield, looking down the corn row where the deer had walked. So our first one, we used this lid, mason jar lid. Kind of leaked out, but we can, when we get back, we'll, got a root in there. We'll clean it up and see how it turned out. As you can see the print of the deer print. And this one we just kind of did in the dirt without a container wall there. And then our last one we made with just dirt. So see how that one turned out. Okay, so there's our 3. We'll take them back and get a toothbrush and we'll clean them up, and we'll go from there. All right, looks like we did good. We are back at the barn, and these are our animal print castings. They're all of deer footprints. These 3 were taken from a cornfield. These 3, as you can tell, they're a little muddy, and they were taken from around the pond. So I have this pitiful little brush here, and what you'll do is you just kind of brush away the sand. You don't have to brush it all away. Then you can actually see it. Now, what I didn't think about was actually trying to get this out of this mold. So actually we have a frame for it. How about that? And this one did really well. It's in mud. So let's see if we can clean it up a little bit and take the cardboard off. It should tear right off, maybe. Take the tape. Add the tape. Yep, see, look at there. Just kind of comes right off, peels away. So cardboard probably is our best bet. There's a little piece of leaf or something. Got a little root in there. But we'll let this dry a little bit, this mud on it, and it'll brush off, but you can actually see the footprint there. This is also a very good one. It did real well. It's still muddy too, but that's okay. And it is in, like I said, a piece of PVC pipe. It's actually, my dog likes to play with this pipe, so I'm gonna try to get it out. But we might be able to run like a knife around the edge of it here, and it'll come right out. So there you go. These did pretty good. This is the one we just poured in and used the sand around it to build up a little wall. So it's very thin. See how thin that is as compared to this one. But it's still pretty good. You could, when it's still wet, put like a hanger in it, like a piece of wire, paper clip, and you could actually hang it up in your room. Same with these. This was the one that I just had some extra and I poured it in on top of the footprint. It did pretty good. You can still see the imprint of the footprint there. So, pretty neat. And this one, it was not, as you can tell, this one was pretty deep right here, so it had some differences in the actual footprint. So I think probably if we look at them, these may have done the best. So have fun with it. You can do any kind of animal tracks. You can do bird tracks, raccoon tracks, possum tracks, bobcat tracks. But remember, the thing to remember is that cardboard does real well because it peels right off. And also, it's really good to do to find those tracks when it's wet outside. Okay, so remember, these were in a wet spot by the pond, and these were in a sort of damper spot. It was kind of damp where the irrigation system had hit. But if I were just to walk in the woods right now, it's too dry and too sandy. Another thing that I had someone do one time, when they went to the beach, they took in the real sandy part, they took a water hose and wet it real good, and then put seashells down and poured the mixture, or poured the seam or the casting material, the plaster, inside of it. So it's like this. If this was a seashell, I'd put it down like that so it's facing out in the sand, pour the plaster around, and then pull it up, and then you have a seashell with sand, with beach sand around it. So it's a pretty neat little art project as well. So hope you enjoyed it. This was different, and go for a walk in the woods or anywhere you can find a place that might have some animal footprints, and make your own wildlife print casting. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time.